Hi everyone. In the summer at Gade Valley Harriers, we like to incorporate warm-ups, exercises and drills into our sessions, and these are all designed to make you stronger and more efficient runners. Now, of course, sadly we can't all meet together to train at the moment, so I thought I would put together a series of videos so that you can do these exercises and drills in the safety and the comfort of your own back garden. Now, this is actually a really great time to think about incorporating this into your training. Clearly it's a funny old time when there aren't races coming up, so it's hard to fix other goals. So, why not focus on that technical side of your running, making yourself stronger and improving your form so that when you are back to training properly, you're going to be able to do that even better and hit those goals even more easily. So I'm going to do these series of videos throughout the summer for you. I'm going to do a new one every 3 weeks, and they're going to be progressive. So this week's going to start off fairly simply, and each time I film a new video, we're going to add in new elements, make things a little bit more complicated, so that as we move through the summer, you are able to develop those skills in a really good and progressive way. So because of that, it's really important that you try and do these quite regularly. In fact, the warm-ups and the exercises, you can look to do those before any run that you do. And the drills that we're going to do, you might want to do those at least once a week, maybe twice if you can. Later on, I'm going to be adding in some plyometric exercises as well. Now, those you'll only want to do once a week because they take a bit more of a strain, but we'll come to that in future weeks. So for week 1, here we go. Before any of the sessions, it's quite a good idea to do a little bit of a jog around the garden, maybe just sort of 5 minutes, especially if it's like the first time you've been outside or got moving in the day. This will just get your heart rate up a little bit and prepare you for the exercises that we're going to be doing. Our first set of exercises are going to be some dynamic stretching. Now, these are designed just to mobilize the muscles. They're not a flexibility session, and they're just going to be there to get you ready to go out running. We're going to start off with some leg swings. Now, if you've been at Gade Valley Harriers before, you'll have done these unsupported, i.e. just standing up. But in fact, for these first 3 weeks, I want you to do them using some support, leaning against a wall, for example. The reason being, I want you to really focus on doing them as well as possible. And by that, I mean making sure that all the movement in them comes from the hip and that we don't have any sway of the body. So you're going to do 10 forwards and back on each leg, and then you're going to do 10 side to side on each leg as well. And I shall just give you a quick demonstration of those. For all these exercises, we're only looking to do as much range of movement as is comfortable for you at the moment. No need to push it further than just feels natural. Now, next we're going to do some calf raises. And for those, you're just going to stand tall, raising up onto your toes, just feeling that nice stretch at the back of the calf. Next, we're going to do some hip rotations. Now, these are really great for loosening your hips, your lower back, just getting that freedom of movement down there, which really helps with nice, easy flowing running. We're going to do 5 of these in each direction. And a bit like with the leg swings, I want you to really focus on making sure that the movement comes from that hip area. And then finally, some exercises for your arms, because of course we use those when we're running, and often we perhaps forget to get them warmed up too. I'm just going to start off with some shoulder circles, and then you're going to turn those into full arm swings as well. And you're going to do 5 backwards and 5 forwards for each of those exercises. We're now going to move on to some more muscle activating exercises, which are going to give you a bit of extra strength as well. The first of these is the classic lunge. And we're going to do 5 of these on each leg. Now, when you're doing the lunge, there are 3 things I really want you to focus on. One is making sure you keep your body in an upright position as you go into the lunge. Second, as you step into the lunge, I want you to make sure that you keep your feet spaced apart. Sometimes it can be tempting to put one foot in front of the other so they become in line, and actually that makes the exercise harder because it takes away your stable base. And the third thing, which is really important, is only to go as deep into the lunge as you can feel that you can do comfortably at the moment. It's really important to do it with good form and nice and smooth and controlled, rather than trying to go deeper than you're able to. After doing the lunge, you're going to do some squats. And again, similar to the lunge, the amount of movement that you're going to do with this is only where you feel comfortable. You can have your feet just further than shoulder width apart, heels planted on the floor, and then really making sure you sit down into the squat, rather than it going in any way forwards. Some people find it really helpful to use their arms raising up as a sort of a counterbalance to doing that. So if you find that helpful, that's great. So you're going to do 10 squats and a bit with the lunge, making sure you keep a good straight back as well. And then the final of these muscle strengthening and activating exercises you're going to do is a bear crawl. Now, crawling is actually fantastic kind of all over body exercise. You get a bit of work in your shoulders, in your arms, in your core and in your legs. And a bear crawl is on all fours, so hands and feet. And what you're going to do is you're going to crawl forward for about 5 meters and crawl back again. And you're going to do that twice. So now on to the drills. Now, drills are a really, really important part of training. They strengthen your leg muscles, but they also sort of create that sort of pathway between your brain and your leg muscles to really reinforce that controlled, coordinated movement that will make you a good, efficient runner. So that's why we do them. They are sort of an exaggerated style of what you would run. It's never, how you would actually run normally. But by taking it further, it then means when you come back to normal running, your brain has kind of learnt that muscle memory of really good form. Now, the first set of drills we're going to do for this week are just some short skips. You're going to do maybe about 10 to 15 meters if you've got that sort of space. You can go in a curve if you need to. If you've only got shorter than that, then go for 5 meters, turn around and come back. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is keeping that quick ground contact time. You're looking to be really dynamic on your feet. And that's one of the reasons the skips are extremely good for practicing running form. It's encouraging that fast ground contact time. And also doing them like this, it promotes maintaining a degree of muscle stiffness when you hit contact with the ground. And this allows you to use your stored up energy much more efficiently when you're then driving off into the running phase. So 2 sets of these short skips. And then our next set of drills, and the only ones we're going to do today, is some high knees. Now we're going to progress these high knees throughout the summer. So to start with, they are going to be stationary marching high knees. Really important to start in this simple way because we want to be getting them right before we move on to the next stage. So when you do them, I want you to really focus on keeping a good upright posture, making sure you're not leaning back, which can be a temptation. Trying to make sure your arms are nicely bent 90 degrees and that they are working in the opposite to the leg. So as your right leg comes up, it's your left arm forward and vice versa. The other thing I really want to look at is trying to keep your toe flexed. So it's like that, it's not going to be pointed, flexed toe. Now this is really important because it's going to help with the landing of your foot. It's going to encourage you to land on your midfoot. And this is another reason why these drills are good, because that natural foot strike like that becomes a thing that gets learnt through doing them. So you're going to, the first set of these stationary marching high knees, you're going to do 20 steps. So that's going to be 10 on each leg. Following that, you're going to do the same thing of stationary marching high knees, but incorporating a pause into it. Every fifth step, you will stop and hold it. And doing so, you'll really get to work on your balance. You'll probably notice that one foot might be better than the other at doing this, and that can give you an indication of if you have imbalances in your style and your form, and that's fine, that's totally natural, but being aware of it is a great step to correcting it. So every fifth step, you're going to pause, hold for a couple of seconds, and then go on again. And I want you to make sure that you've done at least 4 pauses on each leg. So there we have it, week 1's warm-up exercises and drills. I hope you've enjoyed doing them. Keep at them, make them consistent, try and do them a few times a week, and I'll speak to you again in a few weeks' time.